Diana, the happy lawyer, take 3 or 4. I'm not sure how many takes I'm on now because I've had technical difficulties. So I'm going to assume and hope that I'm now live broadcasting to all of my friends. And I see Ernie is still here. You ready for the song, Ernie? We're going to do it, even if it's just me and you. Jeez, I really want to know. Hold on, honey. Hey, this is what happens when you're in the high stakes Hollywood stuff, stuff doesn't always go as planned. Don't leave me alone. Okay, is anyone else on besides Ernie? Ready? Let's sing the song, Ernie. Hey, you know what? Feeling good is my responsibility. Hey, you know what? So I'm focusing, I'm feeling good right now. Hey, you know what? What? Feeling good is my responsibility. Hey, you know what? So I'm focusing, I'm feeling good right now. Pick it up. Hey, you know what? Feeling good is my responsibility. Hey, you know what? So I'm focusing, I'm feeling good right now. Yeah, I'm focusing, I'm feeling good right now. So I'm focusing, I'm feeling good right now. And I finally have all of my friends. Well, welcome to Take 3 or 4 of Diana the Happy Lawyer, episode 8. I apparently was only broadcasting to my good friend Ernie because I had sent him a private message earlier, and now I see that I have all of my friends accessing me. That was crazy. And so, feeling good is my responsibility. And I feel good, even though I've made a little technical error, technical glitch in my presentation. So, whatever. Well, I'll survive. Sometimes one of the things I was just pointing out that you missed because you weren't on, except Ernie heard it 3 times. Jordan Peterson said that in order to become triumphant, you have to start as a fool, because when you're starting out on something new, you don't know what you're doing, and so you have to risk looking like a fool. This is awful. This is just one of the worst shows I've ever done. Hey, you know what? Feeling good is my responsibility, and I'm okay with that. And even if I make a mistake, I'm all right with that. So I'm risking being the joker and being laughed at so that I can learn from it and reach higher echelons and be amazing. So when you start doing something first time, you have to risk making mistakes. So there you go. That was my mistake. So, so my song about feeling good is your responsibility. It is. It's all of our responsibilities to feel good. And the reason why I even heard that song was from a guy that came through my Facebook feed, Tim McGinnis, his name is, and he also goes by the name of Dr. Fun. And this guy really is fun, and all he does is make up little songs that to help him through the day and to get really excited. And that was one of his little songs, and now I've been listening to his other little songs, and they're kind of fun. And it occurred to me that the reason why he came through my Facebook feed is because I am always clicking on positivity and positive stuff, and by meeting the people from the Matrix, I've gotten into a lot of a positivity circle. So 80 to 90% of my Facebook stuff is about positivity and pictures of sunsets, and my whole Facebook page is all about upbeat positivity. And I'm staying away from negativity. If I see something that's negative, I'm getting rid of it immediately. I'm disregarding it, and I'm not clicking on it. And this is how we are in life. In life, when you're putting out a vibration, that vibration is going to come back at you. Don't forget our magnets. Wah! The vibration you put out is going to come to you, just like that, without you even seeing how it's happening. It's coming to you. So Mark Zuckerberg, in his billion-dollar idea, did an algorithm so that what you're clicking on is going to be what is fed to you more. Your feed is going to have a direct relation to what you click on. So my point is, be careful what you click on when you're on your Facebook and don't click on negativity stuff because you'll just get more negativity stuff sent to you. I don't talk about politics. I stay away from political discussions. And as a result, I notice I'm getting less and less politics because, I mean, there's just so much you can get on your Facebook feed. So I'm getting less and less negativity and more positivity because by clicking on the positivity, I am magnetically, through the algorithm of Facebook, getting that stuff to me. But when you do it in your real life, woo! And if there's the negativity sides, if you're clicking on negative, whoa, I wish it would be that difficult. If you're clicking on negative, the negativity stuff is going to be getting to you. So just remember when you're looking through your Facebook, it's kind of like television. When I say don't watch TV and don't watch the news at night, be careful when you're on your Facebook because only you can filter what's coming through to you. So, click on the happy dog stories and the pictures of bunnies and flowers and sunrises and sunsets and all the positivity, and you'll be in much better shape than if you are, reading about negative stories about war and people who are, deceitful and people who are getting arrested and, all of that stuff, because more of that negativity is going to be sent to you through the Facebook algorithm and through life, if that's what you're magnetically bringing to you. So welcome everybody. I'm sorry about the late start. I'm sorry about the messed up. Ernie got a free show 3 times in a row before I was able to figure out that he was the only one that I was open to at that point. So last week we talked about courage and how courage, the word for courage, comes from the heart, corazon and coronary, and courage is the root word of that is from your heart. And I talked about The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale, where he said, throw your heart over the bar and let your body follow. He was teaching a trapeze artist how to work, and the bar represents all of the obstacles that you have to your goals. And if you throw your heart over the bar and your body follows, that's where you're going to be feeling it. That's where you're going to feel your goals, through your heart. And that all of the rough is in your mind. The rough is mental. So stay away from the rough and throw your heart over the bar to get towards your goal. And I was also thinking about the words encouragement, which is promotes your heart, promotes the feelings of your heart. And you're going to get encouragement from people that care about you. Stick to those people. Stick to the people that are going to be encouraging you and promoting your heart's desires. And stay away from people that are going to discourage you and, pull you away from your heart's desires and keep you more in your brain to make you think like, I can't do it. I don't have the money. I don't have the talent. I don't have the nerve. All of that stuff that will be disregarded by your heart. And your heart will just go forward, and your body will follow. And the lady that I put up this week, the woman that was putting an eHarmony profile up, and she started talking about cats. She loves cats. She loves every kind of cat, and she wants to hug every cat, even though she knows she can't hug every cat. And then she tries to switch off, and then she starts talking about the cats again, and she's getting emotional, and she's crying about cats that don't have homes, and she wants to take care of all the cats, and this is her heart that's talking. I mean, I saw that, and I just saw somebody that was literally pouring their heart out. Her heart's desire is to take care of cats, and who knows where she ended up. I mean, that little video was from 2011, so it's been out there for 8 years. For all we know, she made $1 million based on the 16 million views on that little 2-minute video of her crying her heart out, because she almost gets like childlike. And this is the important thing. Your true heart desires are going to be childlike, because as a child, you don't ever question your heart's desires. As a child, you wouldn't question if you could hug every cat or have every cat, living with you. So she starts talking about wanting them in a basket and with little bow ties, and then wanting them on a rainbow. I mean, it's really stuff that is so childlike that it's can only be from someone's heart that you're going to have those feelings, and not from your brain that's going to stop you and say, oh, don't be silly. You can't hug every cat. I feel this way about dogs. I love dogs. I love every kind of dog. And I looked it up. If I were to hug every dog, there's 900 million dogs in the world. And if it was 1 second per dog, It would take me about 30 years to hug every dog. So I may be on a path to try and hug every dog. It'll only take me 30 years. I'm sure I got 30 years left in me. I may have to line them up and bring them to me because the traveling alone to the other side of the world to hug all the dogs in Asia is going to take some time. But maybe I can have dogs on the plane. I can hug them while I'm flying. I don't know. But the point of being, courage is that you recognize the fear, you see the fear, and you do it anyway. Being courageous doesn't mean not being afraid. It means you are afraid and you do it anyway. I would imagine like jumping out of a plane might be something like that. Getting on live Facebook is definitely something like that. Every day on Sunday, I get this like fear thing and I'm like, oh, just do it. And here's my fear played out that there I was talking for 20 minutes and it was just me and Ernie. And then people were saying, hey, where are you? Where are you? And it occurred to me that I had not reset my friends list so that everybody would be watching and not just Ernie. So the tip for last week also was going to be imagine what your dream would be from your heart if you won the $600 million lottery and you didn't have to worry about money. And if you had $600 million, what would you do? What would be your heart's desire? And I also talked about doing mirror work, which was supported by Louise Hay. And her mirror work is to go in front of a mirror and just say, I love you 10 times right at yourself. And a lot of people have difficulty because they don't necessarily love themselves. But there's also lots to do in front of mirror work, like talk about your goals, talk to yourself. How are you going to get something done? I talk to myself a lot. In fact, last week I was saying, when you talk to yourself, I don't remember what it's called in your head, it's called self-talk. So there you go for, putting 2 and 2 together. When you talk to yourself, it's called self-talk. And we all have that. We all have self-talk. And lots of us are talking ourselves out of what we want instead of talking ourselves into what we want. And a lot of that has to do with what my lesson is for tonight, which is you'll see it when you believe it. Now, Wayne Dyer, who I've discussed a lot, has a book called You'll See It When You Believe It. I have not read through that book, and I've not listened to the audible of it, but there's a lot of, he talks a lot about it on many videos. So if you just punched in Wayne Dyer, I'll see it when I believe it, then you'll get to that. Also, any millions of belief positivity of belief, or your belief in your thoughts. Just punch in belief in Google and you'll get lots of good stuff that you want to listen to. And there's tons and tons of quotes and things that you want to that will just come to you. I'm looking at some quotes right now on belief. Believe you deserve it and the universe will serve it. That's a good one. Believe in yourself and you will be unstoppable. Everybody's got to believe in something. I believe I'll have another beer. That was W.C. Fields, and I always like that. And then the secret of having it all is believing that you already do. That is also a childlike type of mentality. And it's when we become adults that we lose the ability to just believe that we already have the things that we want in our heart's desires. So the question starts out with, where do our beliefs come from? Our beliefs come when we're children. We're like blank slates and we don't know anything. So we can only believe what people tell us. And our parents tell us stuff and our teachers tell us stuff. And we watch something on TV and we have beliefs from that. And, without any basis or grounds for it, we just believe it because your mom, whatever. Why? Because I told you so. That's because I said so. So when you're a child, you believe that bedtime is 8 o'clock. Or 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whatever your parents say is bedtime, that's what you believe it is. So it's 8 o'clock, it's bedtime. You don't even question it. It's just a belief that you have. I've mentioned in the past about children that live in New Orleans, and they just believe that Mardi Gras happens everywhere all over the world. They don't realize that it only happens the way it happens in New Orleans, and that if they were living in New York City, they would not have a Mardi Gras. And when they move out, Even when they're in college, by the time they get to college, they don't even understand that Mardi Gras doesn't happen that way all over the world or all over the states, that it's only in New Orleans, that it's as special as it is. So a lot of the beliefs that we have, we just believe them blindly because we got them from somebody that was a trusted person, or we observed it ourselves and we believed it. When I was younger, I thought that when the sun went down, the moon came up. And then when the moon went down, the sun came up. It was like they followed each other. Because that's what I observed as a child. And nobody said to me, no, the sun and the moon have different cycles. And so, I remember I was like, why is the moon up now? I couldn't figure that out. And I don't even want to tell you how old I was when I finally realized that the sun and the moon had different cycles. But it was pretty late in life that I said to myself, something's not right here. And I would see the full moon at the sunrise, and it would be up for a really long time, hours. And then I observed that the sunset and moonset had their own different cycles, and it wasn't what I perceived as a child, that sun goes up, moon goes down, and vice versa. And something else that when I was a kid, I saw this thing on TV that scared me. It was I wasn't supposed to be watching it. It was a scary movie that my parents were watching about a woman who had some youth cream. And of course, long story short, at the end of the show, she was a bad guy. She was doing bad things to get the youth cream, and she ran out, the bottle broke, whatever it was, and she got really old really fast, like she wrinkled up, And to me, as seeing that as a child, I got really scared by that. And so for a very long time after that, if I was in the tub, I would notice that my hands were getting like pruny, and I would be afraid that I was going to be wrinkling up like the lady that I saw on TV. And since I wasn't supposed to be awake watching it from the hall while my parents didn't know I was watching, I really couldn't tell them that, I saw this thing and I was afraid. So I kind of lived with that for a long time. And I would watch myself in the tub spout to make sure that I wasn't getting wrinkled in the tub when I saw my fingers getting wrinkled. What can I say? When you're a child, you believe things without foundation. And then as you grow up, you start to get some foundational beliefs. And of course you say, well, bedtime isn't 8 o'clock. Bedtime is whenever I want when you're an adult. And I think probably most of us, maybe me included, I was a night owl for a long time. I wanted to stay up and watch, the David Letterman as late as I could. And I remember going to I visited Washington, D.C. when I was younger to possibly go to school there for law school. And their TV went off at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock in the morning, it was like, the American flag and the national anthem, and TV went off. And I was like, what is this? TV goes off? There's not 24-hour TV? I mean, we even had Channel 11 and Channel 5 that was going all night back then. So I couldn't even understand the concept of TV not being 24 hours until I went someplace else. So other things that we've come to that, people used to think the earth was flat. People used to think that the earth was the center of the galaxy until they found out that, the earth is round and that the sun is in the middle. I recently had a Trivial Pursuit question. What color is the sun? And of course, a lot of people want to say orange or yellow. Apparently the sun is white. Science has determined that. So there's something that we want to believe until we find out that there's evidence to the contrary. And as you get older, you want to do, investigation yourself. So how do you change your beliefs? The next question is, where do your beliefs come from? And then how do you change your beliefs? You change it by doing investigation. You can learn all of those things that we just discussed. You change it by trying something, by if you didn't believe that you could. I know I talk about baking a lot, but it's something that maybe you don't believe that you could be a baker. And then maybe the first time you forget to put, yeast in it and it doesn't rise. And you think you're still not good. So you have to keep, sometimes trial and error will result in your changing your beliefs about the things that you can do and things that you can't do. When you start to question your authority, when you question your parents, when you question your teachers, when you question, what you're seeing on TV, what's being represented as the truth, and you say, you know what, there's something doesn't seem right about that to me, and you start to think that there are other things that are going on. I'm so sorry, I messed up. So, I don't know what I'm doing now. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm sorry. People are looking for me because I'm late. So you do your investigations and you change your beliefs that way. And then there is another way of believing, and that is just by faith. Just by faith, you believe something is going to happen. And this is really the most important thing. I just read something. The secret to having it all is believing that you already have it. And just like these magnetic things that go together, and you can't see what's happening, but it is happening. This is something that you can't see, but that you believe it because you have faith that these magnetic things are going to go together. And in your life, when we are vibrational energy and we magnetize to us the things that we want in our life. So that's why the phrase, you'll see it when you believe it, is so important because it really is based on faith. What you believe will happen without being able to see how it's going to happen. I believe that I am going to live in Hacienda del Sol. It's a secondary belief because the bigger belief is that I am going to have the dog sanctuaries all over the country. So I believe that, like Oprah Winfrey says, I know that I'm going to have those. There's a guy on Facebook that they show a video of him. He saved 45 dogs and he brought them out to an area and he opened the gate and they all went running, and it was just the most amazing thing. I can cry as a result of seeing that, but I see that somebody else has done it, and I don't know how he did it. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I have the faith that it will happen. And when you see somebody else has already done something that you want to do, it also lends itself to having the faith that you can do that. I know, Perry, you saw that guy with the dogs. Isn't that, could you cry? Could you cry? I can't. I'll cry with the dogs. I'm like the girl with the cats and the rainbows. So I've said many times from The Edge, Anthony Hopkins, what one man can do, another man can do. So when you see something that somebody else is doing, it increases your faith that you can do it. I see other people going live on Facebook. It increases my faith that I can do it. I see someone like Tony Robbins that's doing something amazing. I'm not going to be Tony Robbins, but I can do what he's doing. There are tons of people out there that are promoting personal development, which is what this comes under the big category of how to enjoy your life more. So things like seeing somebody else do it. Also things like thinking about good times that you've had doing something. I love to travel, and I've done a lot of traveling, and I know that I'm going to be doing more. I love the Grand Canyon, and I love all the natural wonders, and I want to go to see the sequoia trees, then drive through one, or Yellowstone Park and see the geyser, or anything else that I want to see. I want to snorkel in Australia at the Miriam, what's that thing called? See, this is what happens when you're unrehearsed. The place in Australia where you snorkel, the Great Barrier Reef. That's what it is. So, do I know how I'm going to get to the Great Barrier Reef? No. But eventually I will. But I have the faith that I don't have to know what all those steps are going to be, but I believe that I'm going to be at the Great Barrier Reef and I'm going to be snorkeling there. And, time goes by and years go by and I haven't done it yet, but it doesn't lessen my belief that I'm going to snorkel the Great Barrier Reef one day. And just like these two magnets that are coming together, and I can't see the vibrational waves that are pulling them together. This is the Great Barrier Reef, and this is me. And at some point, we're going to get closer and closer together, and then I'm going to be there. How long will it take? I don't know. It doesn't matter to me because my belief in it is strong enough to just carry me through whatever the cost will be, whatever I have to do to get there. I'm going to do it. Whatever I have to do to have dog parks, dog sanctuaries all over the world, I'm going to do that. So, these are the things that you're going to believe in without seeing it. Just have pure faith that it's going to happen. The other things that happen around our environment also. Right now it's springtime. Look at the buds on the trees. I mean, you see that the trees were bare before this, and yet here they are again. Those trees that were bare and they look dead in the wintertime come back to life. So even something that looks dead, looks like it's never going to be achieved, will naturally, in the universe, come back to life, and buds will come onto the trees, and flowers will start to bloom. I look outside now and I can see, all the tulips that are coming up. It's tulip time that's coming up right now. And yet, we walk right past these things. You walk right past the budding trees. A lot of us will look at them. I know Stephanie, she was just sending me pictures of budding trees. And those are the things that you have to look at in life to also fortify your faith that things happen even if you don't see how they're going to happen. Even a forest fire, and I'm living in Florida, I saw a lot of forest fires. And then what's that thing out there? The pine barrens. Pine barrens burn. And the stuff goes to ash, and it's like black charcoal. Even in that black charcoal petrified wood, there's still life, and there's still faith that will come back as a forest. And the universe doesn't have a question. Universal energy is not going to question that even a forest or the pine barrens, if they burn down, that they won't come back and become beautiful forestry again. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter if it takes a year, 6 years, 10 years, however long it is. They'll come back. Places come back. Hurricanes, fires. Even if you look at that, I always like burnt wood. I mean, I like it in a fireplace where it's not, damaging to people. But burnt wood has so much energy in it to me. When fire itself is so alive. It's got so much energy, and it doesn't have a purpose except just to be energy. And when the fire goes out and I see the embers and I see the burnt wood, I don't know, there's something about a piece of charcoal or burnt wood that just makes me think like there's life in there, it just is something that's going to, return. And so these are things in your life that you're going to, just have to visualize yourself. Even if you're in a situation where, you feel like you've been, taken out by a disaster, a fire, or a flood, that you will come back, that you believe that you'll come back, and you have the faith that you're going to come back. And these are the things that are going to keep you coming back. I know I'm a little behind schedule because of blah, 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 but there's a little poem that I want to read. That's from Wayne Dyer. And, well, it's not from Wayne Dyer. I got it from Wayne Dyer because he reads it. And it's about the things that we believe in life that turn out not to be true. And yet you're so steadfastly believing in them, and then it turns out, that maybe it's not the case. It's a poem by Valerie Cox, and it's called The Cookie Thief. A woman was waiting at an airport one night with several hours before her flight. She hunted for a book in the airport shops, bought a bag of cookies, and found a place to drop. She was engrossed in her book, but happened to see that the man sitting beside her, as bold as could be, grabbed a cookie or two from the bag in between, which she tried to ignore to avoid a scene. So she munched the cookies and watched the clock as this gutsy cookie thief diminished her stock. She was getting more irritated as the minutes ticked by, thinking, if I wasn't so nice, I would blacken his eye. With each cookie she took, he took one too. When only one was left, she wondered, what would he do? With a smile on his face and a nervous laugh, he took the last cookie and broke it in half. He offered her half as he ate the other. She snatched it from him and thought, oh, brother, this guy has some nerve, and he's also rude. Why, he didn't even show any gratitude. She had never known when she had been so galled, and sighed with relief when her flight was called. She gathered her belongings and headed to the gate, refusing to look back at that thieving ingrate. She boarded her plane and sank in her seat. Then she sought her book, which was almost complete. As she reached in her baggage, she gasped with surprise. There was her bag of cookies in front of her eyes. If mine are here, she moaned in despair, the others were his, and he tried to share. Too late to apologize, she realized with grief that she was the rude one, the ingrate, the thief. So that's one of my favorite poems that Wayne Dyer has brought to me. And it goes to show you that sometimes in life, you believe something is so true, and yet you can be so wrong. So what I really want you guys to do, the tip for this week before next week, I want you to think of 3 beliefs that you have, and I want you to question them. I want you to think about where those beliefs came from, and I want you to question whether or not they're actually true and whether or not you could change them, and what kind of work you would have to do to release your beliefs. Sometimes it's a lot of work. Sometimes people really have to show me, and I'll change my belief. And sometimes people just have to have faith to believe something new. My belief that I'm going to have the dog parks, I have no doubt. I have no doubt about it. I know it's coming to me, just like these magnets. Just like these magnets are going to come to me, and I can't see it. I can't see what's happening in between, but I know it's going to be hard. No, it's not going to be hard. You saying it could be hard, Perry? Even if it is hard, I tell you what, even if it's hard, I'm still going to do it. And it's not going to be that hard. I've already looked into some property down in Florida. You can, if you call your location a farm, then you can have more than the general amount of dogs that are allowed in a private place. And you only have to have one additional animal besides cats and dogs. So, I could have pigs, cats and dogs and pigs. And how fun would that be? I could have horses. Miriam, my friend Miriam, she's going to save horses. I want to do animal dog rescue. She's going to rescue wild Mustangs. Now, I didn't even know that there were wild Mustangs that needed rescuing. But Miriam knows about it, and she believes it, and she has the utmost faith that she is going to be rescuing wild Mustangs. Perry, the problem with pigs is that I eat bacon, and I have a problem. I may have a problem with that. Maybe I'll have, I don't know. Maybe I'll have sloths. I joined the sloth forum, and I'm getting all kinds of pictures of sloths. And I don't know if you could own them in, Florida, but, I'm going to try that. So that is my lesson for tonight. I'm sorry if it was a little haphazard because of my technical difficulty, but I just want you to know that you'll see it when you believe it. So start believing in yourself. Start believing in the things that you can do. Ignore all the negativity. Ignore the discouragement. Ignore Ignore the people that are going to tell you that you can't do it. Be independent of the good opinions of other people. Another thing that I've been doing that you should do, and it's very easy, when you wake up in the morning, no watching TV in the morning before you go to bed, and no watching TV before you go to sleep. In fact, no watching TV, especially the news. Don't watch any. And I see that turtles and rabbits could be part of my farm. Thank you, Joanna. Turtles and rabbits. That'd be a lot better because I don't eat turtles or rabbits. And I won't feel bad about that. Sorry, bacon. So I lost my train of thought. La 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 la. This is the problem with reading while you're doing this. Boy, this is going to be a heck of a archive. This is going to go into the lost archives because I think I might lose the episode 8 and just get it out of me here. Get it away from me. So believe in yourself. Ignore what other people are saying. Don't get discouraged. Don't, I remember what I was saying. Don't listen to the news at night and in the morning. Right. Don't watch TV. Very negative. I saw something. I was getting my nails done. They're lovely. Thank you, Aunt Sula. And they had I don't know what it was. NCIS or Crime Story, whatever, from New Orleans with LL Cool J and the other guy. And you know what? It didn't have any sound on, but I could see that it was the same basic drama that all of these police shows have. Something's very urgent, some life-threatening thing in the beginning, and then the heroes come in and they go in to save the people, and then their lives are put into danger, and then in the end they're saved and they also save the other people. But I mean, there was so much shooting and a lot of people getting killed. I mean, just looking at that, just looking at people being shot on television and killed so randomly, and it's just really horrible. So stay away from the television. The thing that I want you to do is there are audios called Morning Motivation. Morning Motivation. And you can listen to something that's just 5 minutes long or 10 minutes long or 15 minutes long. I'll usually put it on while I'm getting ready for work, and I'll play it 2 or 3 times. Morning Motivation. Punch that into YouTube and you'll hear sometimes a variety of different people talking. The one that's been getting to me lately is Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington does a commencement address to some students, and it's about 10 or 15 minutes long, and I got to tell you, it is so motivating. And there's a phrase that says, if you win the morning, you win the day. So if you wake up and you listen to the morning motivation, listen with your kids. Everybody should be listening to this. Or if you're taking the dog for a walk, put a headset on and listen to it. If you get this feeling in the morning and you feel that strength and that belief and that motivation, it can only grow from there. So start in the morning listening to morning motivation every morning, even if it's only 5 minutes. You know, I talk a lot about laying in bed for 5 minutes when you wake up. Just lay in bed and put your mind at ease. Don't think of anything, just like a little 5-minute meditation. Listen to a morning motivation while you're laying in bed. We all have our phones next to our heads. I mean, I'm trying not to do it myself. But while your phone is right next to you, just click on morning motivation on YouTube. And it's specially designed to get you up and get you geared for your day. And it's going to make you feel great. So that is my, that's my show for this week. A little crazy. That's okay. I'm good. I feel good about it. And feeling good is your responsibility. So focus on feeling good, because nobody else can make you feel good. Feeling good is my responsibility. Feeling good is my responsibility. So I'm focusing on feeling good right now. So I'm focusing on feeling good right now. It's a good little catchy tune. Okay, I'm signing off because my brain is scrambled eggs. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week at 8 o'clock. I'll try not to... I will have all of my technical stuff... I'll have my technical stuff worked out next week. Okay? Thank you so much. If you're coming on now, please just rewind and listen to the show again. And hopefully you'll get a laugh out of it, because Ernie saw it 3 times. He was my only friend that was getting the show. And then I finally realized that was happening. So it started a little late, but better late than never. Thank you so much. Have a great week, everybody. Good to see you, Mark. We really, oh gosh, we got to get our mastermind groups together. Life is busy. Life gets busy, so it's all good. Thanks, Ginny. I'm glad you finally found it. I know it took me like 20 minutes to figure out that I was not broadcasting to everybody, but it's a lesson learned. It's not it's not a failure. It's just a little stumble, a little roadblock. I hurdled it. I went around it. I went right through it, and I figured it out. So there you go. Someday when I'm big like Tony Robbins, somebody else will be dealing with my technical, advances, and obviously that would never happen. Actually, there's this lady named Mel Robbins, no relation to Tony Robbins, and she's starting to become more and more popular, even though probably most of you have never heard of her. And she came on and she does a live show, and she had technical difficulties, and I was thinking about it, and now here I am having technical difficulties. So I should stop thinking about it. If I stop thinking about the technical difficulties, then I won't have them. Or if I do have them, they'll go by me rather quickly. Okay. Thank you so much. I love you all, and love is all you need. Bye. See you next week.